Hello guys, Sam here, coming back with the second devlog. In the last devlog, I said I'll do a breakdown of the journey to my current state, and I'd like to do that by showing you these recordings. I also said in the last devlog that I needed a way to keep myself motivated for this project, and so far, this is what I've been doing for it. I've been taking videos and pictures of the progresses I've been making so that I can always check and know that I'm making progress even if it's really slow. I never thought I would end up using these for devlogs, but it definitely serves the purpose well. But just before talking about these recordings in detail, I should first show you guys my master game note as well as giving you a little more information about my game. This is the note that I've used to scribble literally anything related to this game. Not only game design, but any random ideas, data structures, research memos, concept drawings and more. And here's when I scribble the basic flow and the concept of the game, and it goes like this. Your farm have a situation, and if you as a domestic animal can help or make the situation better, then the situation will be solved and you will be able to continue to live in your farm. On the contrary though, if you're making things worse or too good instead, then you will be deemed unneeded and you will meet your end. I know just the concept is not enough to get the idea of what the gameplay is gonna be like, so I'll explain a little further. So every turn or every day, you will get a happening and 3 choices to choose from. And depending on your choice, different stats will change. This game will have 3 sets of stats. I call the first set the animal stats, and it consists of fitness, attitude, and productivity. The second stat is called the farm stats, and it consists of money, work enthusiasm, and security. Let's say the money stat is hitting the rock bottom, meaning your farm is on the brink of bankruptcy. If your productivity stat is at max though, meaning you're like the goose that lays golden eggs, you will sort out the money issue and your farm will go back to being problem-free. However, if your productivity stat is at its minimum, meaning you're nothing but a mouth to feed, your farm will rather sell you out to a butcher, and that'll be the end of game for you. So this is sort of how you continue or end your play, and your goal is to manage these stats and play as long as possible to see how many turns you can last. I missed out the third set of stats, which are population stats. There's one population stat for each playable animal, and these stats will simply affect how rapidly the other 2 sets of stats change. If you're playing as chicken, and if the chicken population is low, then the same choice will have bigger effect on your stats and vice versa. I hope I explained it well enough for you to picture what my game's gonna be like. I know the rule is a little confusing, so making it look simple is a big challenge for me. After deciding on the rules, I finally kicked off this project and I started with the art. The very first thing I worked on was simple UI elements and some icons. I originally didn't plan on using these animal icons you see here. I liked them, but I didn't want to spend my money on something that I can probably make myself, and I was gonna draw my own later. But that later came too late and I was using these icons everywhere in the game, so I eventually decided to just buy the image instead. I guess the lesson learned from here is never postpone your homework too long. Soon after, I started on the characters. I bought the domestic animals assets from the Unity asset store, and as animations weren't included, that's what I worked on next. I animated idle and run animations for each of the animals that I'm gonna use in Photoshop. I had no experience with the animations by the way, and making separate frames was the only way I could think of that time. Currently, this is the main cause of the massive draw calls I'm getting. Not only I didn't know stuff like sprite sheets, with a really simple game like this, I never thought performance was going to be an issue, so yeah, I'm still learning a lot. I'm not worrying about this so much right now, but I am destined to tackle this problem sooner or later. I've used a game called Wakfu as my animation reference. I just love their cartoony but very weightful animation. I felt there was this bit of an unrealistic delay in some part of their movement, and I really like the sense of weight this gives out. Although I'm just an amateur and not skilled enough to pull off animations with this much quality, I'm still really happy with the look and feel of the animations I was able to give them. I'm feeling a little sorry for the pig though, cause it looks as if he's a little out of breath and he'll be like this forever. I also bought farm tiles and props from the same asset creator. Their art looked awesome and had so many things I wanted, but unfortunately they didn't have the farm building, so this became a thing that I had to draw myself. I was really worried about my own drawings in many ways, cause 1, I'm not a professional artist, and 2, if my drawings look too different in terms of quality and art style compared to the rest of the assets I'm using, they weren't going to blend in well and would look really odd. So I was kinda expecting some trial and error. Now if you think these buildings look a lot like the buildings from Stardew Valley, that means you have sharp eyes, cause I did use Stardew Valley as reference. I just could not draw buildings that would fit in the game with the real photo as reference. You'll know what I mean when you see this. Another funny problem that showed up while working on this was that my art skill was improving. And yeah, of course it's good that I'm getting better at something, but not in terms of having a consistent art in my game. It's always interesting to face this kind of ironic issues. So all in all, I had few failed attempts and had to waste quite a lot of time, but in the end, I was somehow able to come up with these buildings, and I'm hella glad with the result. Looking at my album, I must have worked on the main farm ground next, or the main map shall I say, and I've used the Unity tile map system for this. I had to make multiple tile maps to overlap one another with slightly different coordinates, because I found out that I could not place all the props I want in the way I want with a single tile map. Also, some of these tile maps have special purpose, which is to limit where animals can go. I wrote a simple script for animals to use which picks a random point around itself and see if the point is within a boundary tile map. If the point is inside, then the animal will move to the point, otherwise it will pick a new point after a certain delay. This map, however, is not finished yet. It still have some works to be done, but I'm gonna leave it as it is until I'm somewhat done with more effort required works, so I'm looking forward to coming back to it and finishing it off in the future. I think I covered a lot of progresses in this video: basic game design, bit of UI, character animations, farm buildings, and map. And this is the result of putting them together except UI. It was cool that things are starting to look like a game, and I felt like this was a good solid first step towards finishing the game, though I still have a lot more steps to go. Thank you for watching my second devlog. I tried to retrace and remember as much of development I did as possible, and I'm sorry if I missed out some details, which I bet I did. Do ask me in the comment though if you're curious about anything, cause I'm happy to answer. As you've seen in the album, there's still much to talk about this game, so stay tuned and I will see you next time.